Khabib Nurmagomedov versus George St-Pierre. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the current UFC lightweight champion of the world on his first incredible reign. Khabib has absolutely annihilated, smashed the UFC lightweight division. He's won 12 in a row in the UFC. He's mauled men like Dustin Poirier, submitted him with an incredible rear naked choke in the third round. He sold mega pay-per-views by defeating Conor McGregor. He won his title versus Al Iaquinta. Khabib sticks to his opponents like crazy glue. There's no way of getting him off. Once Khabib is on his opponent, the entire round is complete and utter domination. He destroys them. It seems at this point that Khabib is unbeatable. There's no way of beating Khabib Nurmagomedov. You can't submit him. You can't knock him out. If you go into a cage with Khabib, he's going to destroy you. And it brings us to this question. What can Khabib do? Who can Khabib beat? Khabib seems like he's the greatest mixed martial artist we've ever seen. He's on the most incredible winning streak, 28 in a row. He's unbeaten, unblemished, unhurt, and he's just the greatest. George St-Pierre left a legacy of greatness in the octagon. The former two-time UFC welterweight champion was also an interim champion, and George St-Pierre returned to the Ultimate Fighting Championship to win another title. George went up in weight, and George had a quest to win the UFC middleweight title. George was successful. He's a true consummate professional. George St-Pierre right now is 38 years old. Khabib Nurmagomedov would be 8 years younger. He would have a 6-inch reach disadvantage. Both men are about 5 foot 10 inches tall. They're about the same height. Khabib always has a reach disadvantage. It's not a disadvantage. Khabib has incredible strength. And in this fight, you'd have to wonder who would dominate the grappling. Would George St-Pierre be able to put Khabib on his back, or would Khabib, the incredible grappler, be able to take George down? George St-Pierre has tremendous cardio. He likes to use jabs, low kicks early on, and an incredible super punch, and take his opponent down at will, really bewilder them, make them lose confidence in their stand-up game. While Khabib doesn't really need to utilize his stand-up game, his submission grappling is where he's the greatest. And both of these men are the two greatest in their weight classes of all time. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the greatest UFC lightweight of all time. His record proves it. And George is the greatest welterweight. George St-Pierre also set the standard. He wrote the blueprint on how to win an MMA fight. Time and time again, George knew to take his opponent down, control the fight. Khabib is the next George St-Pierre. After George St-Pierre, Khabib is the greatest grappler. This would be a battle of two greats. George, the greatest then, and Khabib, the greatest now. Khabib Nurmagomedov walks around 39 pounds heavier. He walks around at about 194 pounds. George St-Pierre walks around at about 200 pounds. We could see this fight. I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, who wins, Khabib or George?
Let's go subscribe for Apology.
Yeah.